All right, and hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? My name is Jerome, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today, I got a deck profile for you guys. It is none other than the Kashtira. So, yeah, basically, I've been playing with this deck for like a good 3 weeks now, so I kind of know its ins and outs, how it works. I've played multiple different builds, and so I think I have a very good understanding of how it works and the ins and outs, its weaknesses, its strengths, and all that kind of stuff. So basically, this is the deck profile that I enjoyed, I would say, the most out of it, but I would have to say that it's not the best build. I would say that probably the going second variant is probably the best right now, because this deck doesn't have all of its support. It's just pretty much a bareback, empty kind of build right now. It doesn't really have consistency, nor does it have like recovery in it whatsoever. It's pretty weak. It's pretty mere. I would say this deck is like, sorry, it's pretty mid. I would say that this deck is like a tier 2 trying to be a tier 1, but it's mostly like a tier 2. It only works against literally just tier limit. If you play against tier limit with this deck, you're pretty much going to win like every time. But if you play against anything else like Sprite or any rogue deck or branded or anything like that, you're pretty much going to probably get your butt kicked. I mean, this deck really struggles against everything else because everything has a lot of combos, and this deck can't really stop much combos from happening. The only thing it focuses on is D-Shifter and having D-Fisher. But anyways, with that being said, before we get into the deck profile, you already know, like the video, guys. All right, the more people that like it, the more it gets recommended to others out there that are in need of deck ideas like this one, or like anything else that they play that basically I made a deck profile of. But yeah, like the video. It helps out other people. It doesn't only help me, it helps a lot of other people out. And secondly, if you do enjoy the video, subscribe, guys, for the content, you know? Hey, anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, played the triple Fenrirs, and then of course the triple unicorns, and then the triple ogre. Real quick, if you guys don't know what these cards do, because I know a lot of people kind of always ask me in during duels, what do every one of them do? Fenrir searches for monsters, Unicorn searches for spells, and then Ogre searches for trap. They all trigger off the same if your opponent activates a monster effect, or if they attack, you get the effect of Fenrir, which banishes a face-up monster, or a face-up card. Sorry, a face-up card your opponent controls face down. Unicorn looks at your opponent's extra deck and banishes one of them face down. Ogre looks at the opponent's top 5 and then banishes one of those face down. And that's pretty much it. These are not like these are not quick effects, so they do not chain immediately to a opponent's like monster effect. I keep seeing it happen all the time, and everyone's just like, bro, why don't you quick effect chaining? I'm like, hey, they don't do that. They do not chain. They do not quick effect chain. They start a new chain, or they activate in another separate chain. All right. Next, I played the 2 Astral Karibos. 3 is bricky. Don't play 3. I played 3 my first time playing it, and I seen them way too much. Playing 2 is better because you only want to see 1, if that. Like, you don't really care too much about the Karibo. No, honestly, you probably don't need to play it at all. It's not really that good. I did 3 D-Shifters, the only hand trap. And then I played the adventure package. So I did 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin, and 1 Illegal Knight. So the reason why I did the adventure package is because these 2 are both level 7s. So any level 7 monsters helps this deck out a lot, and they can freely be special summoned if you have a token, an adventure token. So a lot of times I would use Illegal Knight as a way of overlaying for an XC summon. But yeah, that's the only reason. Also, another big reason why I played the adventure package is because every build right now that plays literally almost every Kashtira build, there's one thing missing, and that is a negate, right? This deck struggles with trying to stop your opponent from playing. And this card is like the only card that you can pretty much put in that says, okay, let's stop the opponent from actually playing, unless you want to play Solemn Judgments, but I feel like Solemn Judgments just don't benefit you as much. And then obviously you got the Fateful, only 2 rights, and then the Draco back. All right, and then for the most important card of the deck is the Kashtira Birth. You absolutely need to play 3 of these. What this does is that basically it allows you to normal summon a level 7 monster without attributing. You can also special summon a Kashtira monster that is in your graveyard or banished onto your side of the field. And on top of that, if your opponent activates a spell card while you have a Kashtira monster on your side of the field, you can target up to 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard and banish them face down. So, the best card in the deck. And then I played 2 Pot of Prosperities. This is probably the second best card in the deck because you absolutely need to see a Kashtira name. And now this I would change completely, but I played 3 D-Fissures. I would honestly change it. I'm thinking about cutting it down to just 2, or maybe even just cutting down to 1. Yeah, 3 of them, I've seen them way too much, and I didn't really like it. But I mean, it's great against almost every deck. It's just I don't like playing 3 of them right now because I see them way too much. And then 3 Sacred Swords. Broken in this deck. Absolutely, my favorite thing to do is to sorry, excuse me. But my favorite thing to do is to summon Fenrir. Fenrir's effect: search for Unicorn, activate Sacred Swords, banish Fenrir, draw 2, summon Unicorn to get the spell card, activate spell card, get back my Fenrir, and then overlay. That's pretty much like the best thing I like to do with this deck so far. It's like the best play that that's the best play that this deck can do currently. And then I did 1 Triple Tactics and 1 Gold Sark. I didn't know what to put in for the 40th card, so I just said screw it. Triple Tactics is not bad at all. And the Gold Sark, I see some people not even playing this card. I feel like a lot of people forget about this card. This card is insane in this deck. I mean, you literally just activate it, banish any of the Kashtira monsters that you don't currently have, and then if you have Birth, activate Birth, and you can get that monster right on the field for free. And then there you go. Now you get to do other stuff. And then obviously I just did the 1 trap card. For those of you that don't know what the trap card does, basically you get the special summon from your hand or from your banish pile, one of the Kashtira monsters. Also, if your opponent activates a trap card while you have a Kashtira monster, basically you get to look at their hand and banish 1 card in their hand face down. That is about it. Sorry. Yeah. Also, this one allows you to special summon back a Xyz monster that is a Kashtira as well. The spell card doesn't allow you to summon an Xyz, so that's very important to remember. I believe I am reading it right. Yeah. So the spell card, you can't summon an XZ monster, but with this one, you can summon an Xyz monster. I see some people playing 2 of those, which is I'm not against it because if you are playing as Tier Element and you mill 1 of them, at least you have another one. And then for the last 3 cards, I did 3 Imperms because, again, this deck needs aid from stopping your opponent from playing, and Imperm is like the best hand trap right now, so other than D-Shifter. Now for the extra deck, is janky because I didn't know what to put in for Xyz monsters or anything like that, and so I'm playing 1 card that I can't even summon whatsoever, which that's just Baron. Don't even, if you have like a level 3 tuner or whatever, play it, but like I just put it in here just because like I can't even make it. But you obviously need to play 2 of these. Your first one more than likely is going to get removed from the field somehow, so then you need a second one, and if it does get removed from the field, you pretty much win because that's pretty much your best card. Next is the 2 Diabolas. You don't even need 2, you just need 1. You never really go into, honestly, you barely even make this thing. The only time you make it is with Astral Karibo, really. Then I did 1 Big Eye. This card right here wins you games left and right. It's like probably the most important Xyz other than the Shang-Ra or whatever his name is. The Flare Metal Dragon. And then the Titanic Moth. I made this 1 time just to go into Zeus. Draco Sack. I made it 1 time. That was about it. This thing, number 76. Never made it, but it looks pretty cool. So then Zeus, and that will be it for the Xyz monsters. I wish I had the Dark Arm Dragon Annihilation. I think that's what it's called or something, or Annihilator. That would be a really good one to play. And then for the for the Link monsters, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I just threw these in. Underworld Goddess, shockingly enough, actually made this 1 time. Blackluster Soldier, never made it, but everyone's doing it, so why not? Link Spider, and then the Danger. Sorry, not the Danger. dagger for hire. So if you're wondering how, like, why these two, is because if you summon out Draco Sack, the thing is, like, you summon out Draco Sack, you do Draco Sack's effect, you get the 2 tokens, effect to use the token to pop something, then you can use this, or you use your token to go into Link Spider, and then use both of these to go into dagger, and then you use dagger's effect to get rid of itself to pop a card. Now you're probably wondering why get rid of itself. Is because basically you need to clear your field, so then you can basically special summon out your Kashtiras from hand. That's the whole thing. Did I ever do it? No. Did I ever need to do it? No. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. The extra deck kind of right now, this deck is really weak right now, but side deck, a lot can change. I just kind of threw this together because I didn't really know what to do with it. So 3 lava golems, only 2 lightning storms. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I just kind of threw it together. 2 dark ruler no mores, 1 cyclone. That probably should be the lightning storm, the 3rd one. 3 evenlies. And then the last 3 are solemn judgments. Never really seen them. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm coughing so much, I had a cold for like the past week, and I just finally getting over it. So yeah. But final thoughts on the deck. Like I said earlier, I don't think that this deck by any means is anywhere close to being tier 1. It's like bottom tier 2 right now. It's very mediocre. It's gimmicky and it's pretty fun to play. Don't get me wrong, like the first 2 weeks I was like enjoying the crap out of this deck, but after playing it for a while I was like, man, this deck just has really barely anything at all to offer. But does that mean you're not going to win with it? No, like you're definitely going to win with this deck. I definitely seen some people top like regionals with it and stuff like that. And honestly, their matches were really good. I mean, they played against a lot of tier Shuzu, and this deck is built to basically destroy tier Shuzu. Like, if you lose to tier while you're playing this deck, there's something wrong, because you shouldn't be losing to tier. I mean, this deck literally counters it completely. So, other than that, man, like I said, that's like the best matchup is tier. But everything else pretty much just blows this deck out of the water. I mean, I haven't even matched a single Sprite player, but I have seen my buddy play against the Sprite deck, and yeah, this deck just struggles to keep up with it. But do I recommend you to play this deck right now? Absolutely not, unless you just want to play for fun. But do I recommend you to get the cards? Yes, you need to get these cards now, because this is going to be the best deck, I think, once the next set comes out. Hands down, it's going to be the best deck. Nothing else going to be able to compete with it. And once it gets to level 4 and its field spell and stuff like that, it's going to be rolling, and it's going to be, I mean, we're going to go from a tier 0 right to another tier 0 basically. So I definitely think you should pick these cards up now. Play the deck if you want to. It's pretty fun, but don't expect to go undefeated or anything like that. I think the best record I've had so far was, I think twice I went x-1, but that was about it. This last time I got absolutely destroyed. So people now are catching on to the whole theme of it in my area. So I think it's time for me to switch things up, play something different, you know, keep it fresh. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, remember, like the video, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.